Who are you? And who are you really? This question echoes through the corridors of human experience. We seek definition, a place to anchor our understanding of self. But what we often cling to are fleeting and superficial markers, external trappings that mask the true essence of who we are. We mistake the clothes we wear, the job title we hold, even our physical appearance, for the totality of our being. These are merely layers, added and shed over a lifetime, like costumes donned for a play. They do not define the actor beneath. The ego, the voice in our heads that constantly seeks to define and limit us, clings to these external identifiers. It builds a fortress of me out of possessions, achievements, and social standing. But this fortress is built on shifting sand. To truly know ourselves, we must venture beyond the superficial and delve into the depths of our being. Consider for a moment stripping away the external markers by which you identify yourself. Imagine shedding your name, your profession, your possessions, even your physical body. Would the essence of who you are disappear along with them? What remains when the masks are removed is the true self, the consciousness that observes and experiences life. It is the silent witness that remains constant even as the external world and our perception of it changes. The clothes we choose, the way we style our hair, these are expressions of personality perhaps, but they are not the essence of who we are. They are choices made in a particular moment, influenced by cultural norms and personal preferences. True identity resides not in the fleeting trends of fashion or the labels we adopt, but in the timeless space of awareness that exists beyond form. Life is a river, constantly flowing, changing, evolving. Our identities, too, are in a state of perpetual flux. We are not the same person we were 10 years ago or even yesterday. Experiences shape us, relationships mold us, triumphs and failures leave their indelible marks. Yet, despite this constant evolution, we often cling to a fixed sense of self. We identify with past versions of ourselves, holding on to old stories and limiting beliefs. This resistance to change creates suffering. When we can accept the impermanence of all things, including our own identities, we open ourselves to the possibility of profound growth and transformation. We become like the river, adapting to the curves and bends of life, embracing the journey rather than clinging to the shore. From the moment we are born, we are immersed in a world of conditioning. Our families, our cultures, the media we consume, all these influences shape our perceptions of ourselves and the world around us. We inherit beliefs, values, and even fears, often unconsciously. These early influences can be both empowering and limiting. They can provide a sense of belonging and identity, but can also create rigid boxes that stifle our true potential. We may internalize limiting beliefs about our abilities, our worthiness, or our place in the world. Breaking free from these inherited patterns requires conscious awareness. We must question the stories we tell ourselves, challenge limiting beliefs, and rewrite the narratives that no longer serve us. This is the work of inner liberation. The cage of labels. Society loves labels. We categorize ourselves and others based on race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, profession, and countless other identifiers. These labels can provide a sense of belonging, but they can also be incredibly limiting. When we identify too strongly with a particular label, we restrict ourselves. We limit our potential and blind ourselves to the richness and complexity of both ourselves and others. We begin to see the world through the narrow lens of our chosen categories. True freedom lies in transcending these labels. It is in recognizing that we are far more than the sum of our parts, far more than the boxes we or others attempt to put us in. We are vast, multifaceted beings, capable of infinite growth and transformation. A universe. Within, a human being is a part of the whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feeling as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. This is a gorgeous quote by none other than Albert Einstein. These profound words from Albert Einstein point to the interconnectedness of all things. We are not isolated beings, separate from the world around us. We are part of a vast, interconnected web of life, inextricably linked to every other being and every element of existence. The ego, however, clings to the illusion of separation. It creates boundaries where none exist, fostering a sense of isolation and lack. This delusion is the root of much suffering. We must go beyond the separate self. When we can move beyond the limited perspective of the ego, we begin to experience the interconnectedness of all things. We see ourselves reflected in the eyes of others, feel the pulse of life in the beating of our own hearts. This realization is not merely an intellectual concept. It is a felt experience, a deep knowing that transcends thought. It is in these moments of connection that we catch glimpses of our true nature. We begin to understand that our true identity is not separate from the universe, but rather an integral part of it. We are expressions of the same life force that animates all things, connected by an invisible web of energy and consciousness. Embracing the totality of being, to embrace our true identity, is to embrace the totality of who we are, the light and the shadow, the joy and the sorrow, the strengths and the vulnerabilities. It is to accept ourselves unconditionally, without judgment or comparison. This radical self-acceptance is the foundation for true inner peace. When we can embrace all parts of ourselves, we no longer need to hide or pretend. We can show up in the world as our authentic selves, imperfections and all. This authenticity is a beacon of light, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. It gives permission for others to do the same, to shed their masks and embrace the fullness of their being. Finding home in the now. The journey of self-discovery is not about arriving at a final destination, a fixed and unchanging identity. It is about embracing the ever-evolving nature of who we are in each present moment. True identity is not something we need to search for. It is something we can only be. It is found in the stillness of the present moment, in the space between thoughts, in the depths of our own being. When we can quiet the incessant chatter of the mind and drop into the stillness within, we connect to the source of our being, the universal consciousness that unites us all. In this space of pure awareness, we find our true home, a place of unconditional love, peace, and belonging.